So here's the play for tomorrow. You can look for manipulation candles, and what manipulation candles are is at a certain point, um, right where you see a reversal around 4 minute 4:30, it'll be up here, and all of a sudden, boom, it'll move right down. You actually see the manipulation. It will not let the candle move naturally to where it was. They will hit it, so they will invalidate any reversal candle. Likewise with here, like right here, right when is right at the 5 minute mark, boom, it hits. I mean, there's no gradual transition at all. From this candle to this candle, it's not continuous. They actually hit it right at the 5 minute candle to invalidate any strength. And you see it, you see this thing just gets invalidated. Boom. Eventually, and here you see, this is where I made a mistake. I mean, I thought because of all the traps that it was laying, um, I thought maybe they would lay a trap above VWAP. And I don't know why I thought that. I was just trying to, I think I was just outsmarting myself. And that's just one of the things you got to pay attention to is not self-fulfilling yourself and not just thinking something, and you just gotta go with the technical. And yes, they could have overshot. Here I was thinking they're gonna overshoot VWAP, but again, they don't have to overshoot VWAP. I mean, I don't, you know, forcing yourself to think one things, that's gonna be the biggest mistake of most day traders, is that they're gonna outsmart themselves. They're gonna think something and think, well, it's gonna be that way, and they expect it to be that way, but it's not. In this case, it didn't even get to VWAP. On both incidents, it didn't get to VWAP. Boom. At this point where it failed VWAP, you should have known. And instead of that, is when your spidey sense should have kicked in right then. You should have known that's it. It's over. Right when this candle fell and it jumps to this candle, that's when you should literally get out. In fact, you might have to set discipline where you set a stop right here or something like that, because it didn't get to where you want. That's just the, I mean, and look at that, boom. You're just not having enough fear. You're just not having enough. You're still thinking too optimistically. You're still not thinking like a robot. You still not you still not doing be you still not making your action based on disciplines. You still loose, carefree, and not enough fear. I mean, you need to have more, you need to be a lot more careful. I mean, this is just uncalled for to let it go from here to here, to be honest. And then here, I mean, geez, and then just expecting a recovery. I mean, yeah, it seems like it's primed for a recovery. I mean, at this point, but at a certain point where it went down here, you should have realized it's gonna go down to 3,000. I mean, you're not looking at worst case scenario. You're thinking at this point, you're going like, okay, look, it's gonna recover. Oh, it's gonna recover. It's not going to recover, or it doesn't have to recover. You just gotta deal with your loss. Instead, look at that all the way down. But for tomorrow, you're gonna have to look for manipulation candles, and you're going to essentially, the manipulation candles will give you the direction, and you gotta watch it, and you're gonna see the behavior of whether it be a gap up. I need more space actually. Um, Let me go. Let's do that. Yeah, here it is. So it's going to either gap up, a little gap up, and if it gaps up, you're gonna watch it carefully, and you're gonna see the formation. The first candle doesn't matter, and then the second candle may not even matter. But If they hit it, they'll smack it down real quick. Boom. And the only way you can get the smackdown is you actually have to set contingency. You gotta set a price target. So you set a target here. If it hits to that target, like the 50%, if it hits to that, um, buy the puts right when it gets right at that level. And most likely it's gonna hit it, and you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna go all the way down, and it will have here, and it'll do something like that, and boom, something like that. So that's the only play that's feasible for tomorrow. You gotta watch the candles and watch for manipulation. Now there's a chance it's going to go up, and if it does go up, you will see evidence of, essentially you will see, um it'll have some down candle, but it'll have support. You actually see that on the attempt of a smackdown, they'll actually catch it, and it'll, the candle will form, and then it'll go up, and then maybe they'll try another one, but they'll catch it. And that's the point, is they will catch it on a if they're buying support, and eventually that is gonna go, and it's gonna go, and then you see it go do that, and then it'll do that. Like it's actually a lot of manipulation candles, and you just gotta be able to watch it, and maybe even set levels on the upside, like maybe here by the calls, at contingency, right? So the calls will be on the 38.2, and the shorts would be on the 50%, or a little bit below, a little bit above, something like that. Now, if it gaps down, well, then you're in a world of hurt. You don't know what to do, right? I mean, most likely if it gaps down, it's gonna gap down to the 61.8. So if it gaps down, it's gonna gap down all the way to 61.8. At which point, you just gotta assume it's gonna go up on the initial buying, and then boom, they're gonna get it. Now they may not smack it down, but they might just, any initial strength, you see it'll start to sell off, and pretty much, um yeah, I don't know if it's gonna recover. I mean, if there's a eventually a flush, right? So you'll see some support, fake supports, and you actually see the candles being manipulated, and then it'll go down to the next level, and then eventually it'll do this, and then it'll flush, and then at that point you can get the recovery. That's essentially all you can do, is just watch for manipulation candles, and have targets on your calls and your puts. Um, because the chances are, if it goes up, it's gonna go up. If it goes down, it's gonna go down. I mean, it's just extreme to extreme at this point, or level to level, level to level, extreme to extreme, and price target. So it's either gonna be 3,100 or 2,900. Or it might penetrate below it, and then get back to it for Friday option expiration, something like that. And it may go up, penetrate it, and then go down for option expiration. But the other thing is, you want to day trade this guy too. This guy is gonna have some movement. This SPY guy. So you just look for levels. I mean, if it gets down anywhere here, and if it holds, eventually it might just hold that level. And if it holds the level, let's just say it goes down below 10, it'll hold it, and it's either going to go, it's probably going to have one last spike, or it'll go down. Let's see if there's any. I mean, there may be some technical level here. So there may be some initial run up here. And so if it does that, then it's gonna be dead in the water, and they won't have this guy right here. Um, if that's the case, it will do that. Now, if there is none of this, then if it just continue to hold it, then eventually you might have something like that to that. And I don't know if it's worth it. You might wait. There's a lot of imbalance here. I mean, so yeah, but this one's gonna come back. I mean, the volume is just way too high. Look at that, 252,000. I mean, million, 252 million. So the other play, Tesla. I'm not sure you can really play Tesla. Um, I mean, yeah. So that's gonna be the play. Is this guy right here is gonna see they're probably gonna penetrate it. Um, you know, it's probably gonna end. Yeah, they're probably gonna penetrate it. I don't know. You just know for Tesla, it's just gonna go from extreme to extreme. So at this point, it might even get. I mean, it might even get to this level. Let's see what that is. That's 310. So this will move up. So probably gonna be 310. This it's just have. I mean, this thing has a magnet for. Um, if you look at that, this just has all this right here. So this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Um, let's just say there's a bounce, and then eventually it's gonna go down to there. I mean, it's just that is just the formation, the way it looks. There's just no way around it, in my opinion. I mean, it's just gotta go down to this level 300 because the damage is done. This candle pretty much is going to damage. It's going to cause too much damage, and so that is essentially. Um, hopefully there's some bounce, and so this will be the big money maker right here. If you can get in and get this downturn, that'll be your money maker. Yeah, if you try to target this, I don't know. It might not happen. If it goes straight down, you can try to chase. Um, but I mean, on the chase, it's always gonna have some little bounce where it'll scare you out, and that's always gonna be the case. There's always gonna be little bounce that scare you out. However, if it's do something like this, you have a little bit more room. This is a better scenario in my opinion. Um, Apple, yeah, Apple just looks like 1,100. I mean, it's just there's just no other way around it. I mean, everything just looked bearish for Apple, but it is a very strong stock. But it does just look like it wants to go down to 100. Either way, it wants to touch it because right now um, this candle pretty much is a green candle at this point. But they're gonna try to invalidate this candle. So right here, if it ends below here, then this turns into a red candle. So if it goes down, it becomes a red candle if they land it down here, right? And so if it goes down there, if tomorrow it goes down here, or even if not tomorrow, Friday, it doesn't matter, right? The point is if it gets down here by Friday and ends down here, that's gonna be a red candle, and it's gonna look pretty clean if it's a red candle. Because what you got right there is a yellow line that it doesn't touch, but it's close enough so that this will bounce. So tomorrow, I mean next week we'll have a green candle. So next week will be a bounce candle. Um, however the green candle is, it'll go up and touch a little bit of it. For this yellow to continue to go down. Now, um, there's also a channel here that looks pretty nice too. So you also got this channel right here. So that's the other thing. So that's why it looks like it most likely is gonna get down to here. I mean, that's just the reason why. The stock that is good to buy, it's gonna be Snow. Eventually, I mean, at any point here, Snow is gonna anywhere at 200. If it gets at 200 or below, that's a good buy on your 401k. Big C is the other one. I mean, I'm looking to get into these guys. Big C, hopefully, it's already showed strength today. If you look at the options for Big C, there's a lot of there's volume, but there's also a lot of call options on Big C. Not sure why, but it definitely wanted to go up today. Look at that. But then you got that sell off because the whole market sold off. So they may attempt it again tomorrow. I mean, who knows? Um, the way it goes, sometimes an attempt of a run up might get abandoned because whatever, but then they'll reattempt it. Um, Now that's bearing if there's no crash, and so tomorrow or this week is still a potential crash scenario. So all of this might be down here. So buying Snow, buying Big C, you might have to wait for next week, where I told you, um, you might wait for this to form because after this is a pretty solid support. Um, on Apple. Now, who knows? It may crash, but you gotta go with the chances that it's gonna bounce. Because right now it still look like a engineered sell off. It's not really a lot. I mean, there is some movement on the VIX, and this might kick in later on. But right now they're trying to engineer a sell off, and there's just no real fear right now compared to what it was during the coronavirus. It's just, to me, I'm just looking at it. I can see it's manipulation, kind of an engineer kind of sell off. But look at the financial. I mean, if you look at the financial, they have it for Fibonacci is right at 38.2. So I mean, let's see if financial is going to be the one you want to pay attention. So tomorrow, 38.2, let's see if it bounces above it. It might go below it and then recover. It might go to this level and then recover. But yeah, that's gonna be the play for tomorrow is to watch for manipulation, watch for levels, and yeah, just hope for the best.